of what will happen in our lives, of how the world will be and how we should be in the world. And we too can be like Mary, where we go to places of decay and destruction, where we go to places of death, where we go to places where we know they will add nothing to us, but we choose to, in some way, perhaps just distract ourselves. We know it does not have to be physical place, but it can be even in our own minds. It could be even in how we spend our time, how we choose to entertain ourselves. Choices that we make. Not sure what Mary thought she was going to accomplish by going to this tomb. But we do know that she expected a dead Jesus. She went to a place of death, seeking and looking for death. Because when she saw that the stone was moved, tomb was empty, she immediately ideals it to the disciples, Peter and John, and she tells them, they have taken my Lord away. They have moved him. And in the original language, this is reference to moving a dead body. They have lifted, carried him away, and we don't know where they have put him. Language would be where they would have buried him, where they would have relocated his body. So she's speaking words of death, looking for the dead in the place of death, and now speaking to the disciples. And in her dialogue, what she's saying to them, dead Jesus isn't dead where he's supposed to be. We know what happens. The disciples, they go back. There's a little exchange between them. They look into the tomb. Let's fast forward again. The disciples leave. And they leave Mary there. Because so consumed is she by her grief and her loss. In this place of death, where she went seeking death and looking for dead Jesus, that she does not return with the disciples. She remains, and we're told that even while she's crying, she peers into the empty tomb. And where the clothes were are now two angels sitting there. And they ask her a question, why are you crying? We may want to try to figure out, well, why the disciples didn't see the angels? They came, they ran, they looked in, they didn't see him there, they ran back. Mary made the effort, and she got there early. Mary made the effort to go to tell the disciples what was happening, and now, as Mary looks into the tomb, there are angels there. Why are you crying? And once again, for the second time, she delivers a message of death. Dead Jesus has been moved from here. And I do not know where they have taken their Jesus and where they have put him, where they have buried him. She exits the tomb. And she's walking around. And she sees Jesus, but she doesn't recognize him. We know the story. She is so consumed by her grief and her fixation on Jesus who has died, that she does not recognize him standing before her. We too, we become so consumed by the temporary things of this world, by destructive behavior, by the decay that is presented to us in this society, that we see nothing else, that we cannot see our God, our Lord before us, with us and within us. We continue to just search and look for things that add no value to our lives in places of death and decay. And this is true for all of us. I had a bit of a cough this morning. I still have a cough. Woke up a little early and spent half